Hi everyone, welcome to another video of mine, Warframe again, because frankly, I love this game, and I love making guides for it. So, this video is going to be about the current event that's going on. And as you can see there, on my thing, it had 9 days left to go. This event, of course, is Operation Plague Star, and I'm going to show you how you can do it basically solo, and also, one way I've started fighting the enemies that I find really relaxing. Okay, so to start off, you of course have to go to Earth and then go to Cetus, which is this you can get to it very early on in the game. In fact, you can get there as soon as you unlock the first few planets on Earth. You can be like Mastery Rank 0 and have like a level 14 Warframe. But in that case, I recommend at least getting your stuff up to level like I guess 29 or so, or maybe a little less, like 22, and your weapons and stuff and everything. Because if you just go in here and fight the infested with nothing really like that high level, they will probably just kill you. Okay, so pretty much, yes, Konzu, I don't care. I'm trying to make a video here. Please shut up. Anyway, so you go over to Konzu here, this guy who just keeps on blabbering on and on about how the boil needs to be cleansed, and this is basically an event that's going on right now. It has happened before, but basically this huge infested boil has crash landed onto Cetus like a meteor, and Vayhek, the super ugly Grenier, well, a senator, I think that's it. Yeah, I think he actually is some kind of senator. It's weird. He's also some kind of commander. Anyway, he likes to yell a lot, and he wants to let the infestation come from the boil and basically grow to a huge amount and just wash over everything like the plague it is and kill Cetus because he hates the Ostrons. And then he plans to get his Grenier to put a bunch of toxins into it and cleanse the infestation, and then he can own Earth. Except Vayhek doesn't really know what he's doing, and if he lets Earth get infested, it will become like Eris, which is a place no one touches anymore because the infestation has grown so much. It is like a giant cancerous tumor in space. Yeah, I know, quite disgusting, and that's basically what will happen to Earth as well. And Vayhek still has Grenier on Earth, mining it, which is not very smart, because Vayhek, you stupid little dum-dum, how are you Grenier gonna mine Earth if it's an infested blob? Also, what I bet's gonna happen is that the infested are gonna infest any Grenier ship that goes near Earth, hijack them, and then attack Vayhek's forces with their more of their infested goo-filled ships, and then get more ships. Like if they captured a Balor from Morian, which is basically like, think of a smaller version of a Death Star, and then mix that with a Star Destroyer from Star Wars. That's a Fomorian. Yeah, so Vayhek's an idiot, was what I'm saying. So, for this mission here, when you run it, you get standing, and you can turn in the standing to this Nakak, this one over here, which is a little kid who is for some reason in charge of the standing for this event. Like, I don't know why Konzu anyone puts this little fella in charge of basically handing out super powerful rewards like Former to the Tenno. Oh, that's the wrong one. I was meant to click Operation Supply. Yeah, so as you can see, Former. So, how this thing works is that when you complete the event, you will get standing for it, and then you can spend the standing on a number of rewards. One of the first things I recommend getting is this, the Eidolon for Phylaxis, if you're high enough level. Don't do this, by the way, if you are a Mastery Rank 0 like I was talking about before and you're level 22 or so. Because this will make the infestation much tougher, but it'll also give you more rewards when you complete the thing. And it only costs around about 2,000 standing, which you can get quite quickly. Also, if you are on public games, sometimes people will put this in before, like, for you, and you don't have to put it in, and then they will allow you to basically gain more standing and be able to purchase the blueprint, because it does need 2,000, and you don't get that much standing if you don't put these in. Like, if you don't put these in, I'm pretty sure I only got like 120 or so of this, so you need to run that thing, this event thing, so many times to get that. Alright, so anyway, once you have purchased that thing and built it, and it only takes a few resources from the Plains of Eidolon. In fact, I'm just going to really quickly go back to my ship and show you what you need to build it. Yeah, once you've built that, then you go into the arsenal and equip it into your gear. Because, yeah, that's basically what you need to do to bring it along. It's a little like, not bringing along is pretty silly when you think of it. I mean, it's easy to do, but it's like the equivalent of trying to mow the lawn and you forget your lawnmower and you bring a pair of scissors. It's gonna take ages to cut your lawn with scissors. Don't do that, by the way. Unless you have literally nothing better to do, or you're making some kind of documentary, like, I spent, I don't know, 5 years of my life cutting my lawn with scissors. Here's what I learned. Maybe post that on YouTube. That's definitely something I wouldn't do. So anyway, I don't know why I went to the arsenal. I should be going over to the foundry. Yeah, so here it is. This is all you need to build it. Just 20 of this stuff that I cannot pronounce for the life of me. This Grunia alloy thing. Nestle pod, which you find on this weird type of plant, and which has a bunch of spikes on it. Also called a Nestle pod, I think, or Nestle pod. And then this, which you just find everywhere. It's like in quite big clumps around the plains of Eidolon. And for the plant, you just whack it, and you also get about like 5 or 7 each time, so it's pretty easy to get this much stuff. And it also only costs a few credits to build. So anyway, once you have built it, you go into the arsenal, then click gear, and as you can see, I already put it in this slot. Sadly though, if you're using a controller like I do, you may still want to just use the keyboard shortcut of pressing Q and then holding it down and scrolling down here to select it, because from basically what I found out, my controller doesn't really have enough buttons to actually map every single one of these gear wheel slots to everything. In fact, the only thing I've got mapped to the gear wheel is the scanner, because I pull that out so often, and I've got that on my left stick press. So the analog stick I use for movement, I just press that down, and then I can just really quickly whip out my scanner. I've assigned that to gear slot 1 and put the scanner in there. I'm pretty sure I've actually mentioned that some other times. Anyway, now that I've explained all that, and how to equip the thing to do in your inventory, let's finally go to Cetus and actually show you how you can, like, how to do this event and everything, and also how relaxing it is. Oh, another great thing about this event is that, unlike other events, there is no real, oh, I forgot to pick it up from Mortis. Oh well, like that thing that was building those, basically these toxin things. So anyway, as I was saying, with this event, one of the great things about it is that you don't really, like, once you've done it once, it's basically the same route to get to the same thing over and over. So once you've done it once and memorized it, you can do it really quickly. Yes, whatever, Konzu, I don't care, I just said so. So yeah, select this mission, and I suggest, to get the hang of it, maybe try it solo. It's kind of a double-edged sword, because either you're trying it solo and you don't have help from people, or you have help from people, and especially if you go public, the thing is, so yeah, the thing, if you go public, then people usually run to the thing really quickly. Like, you have people just zipping around completing the event, and you won't even know what to do on this event, so it might not be the best idea. Oh, and there is a reason why I've picked the Tsar as my choice weapon for this, which basically, if you don't know, it's 10-0 pirate cannon. It's like, that's literally what it is. It's a cannon. You just shoot it, and it shoots basically like a cannonball that blows up on the floor and then blows up into more cannonballs. It's great, but keep in mind it's very easy to kill yourself with it, as shown there. Oh, I guess actually it isn't that easy to kill yourself with it, because I have I've got this to a really high level. It's not even doing that much damage to me. So yeah, since the boil has landed on the plains of Eidolon, you will now find infested all over the place. If they're really annoying you, just find the thingamajig that they spawn from, which you can usually find by basically just following the trail of infested to its thing, and then find, yeah, it looks like one of these, the infested spawn pods. They are scannable as well, by the way, if you're a scan completionist like me. Now you may be thinking, Cheese, why would I bother with this? I'm going around trying to, like, stuff a toxin in the boil to kill it. Why should I be bothering with these little infested pod things? I'm telling you this in case you don't give a crap about the entire event and just want to go fishing while this boil is around. Although infested may spawn from this area here, and that they've got no way of killing that, sadly. So yeah, you now have to deal with infested everywhere until this event ends, and it won't end until like around 9 days from now. I'll try and upload this video on the day it comes out, so that information is correct and you aren't really missing out on days. Anyway, so first step is get to the little yellow marker on your map. The reason why I picked Zephyr Prime, the reason why I love this Warframe so much lately, is because of this. It's the first ability she has called Tailwind, and it lets you just zip over there. And if you're paying attention to my energy in the bottom right corner of the screen, you can see that I'm using hardly any, and all I've got equipped is one max rank Streamline, which reduces the energy cost of your Warframe. And I don't even have an energy regeneration mod on like Energy Siphon. I've actually got the other one called Rejuvenation, because Zephyr Prime is actually modded to be like the correct, have a correct polarity so that aura mod actually slots in there. Yeah, so once you arrive here, you either kill the Grineer or don't. It's really your choice. And then there'll always be a cave you go in. It's actually a different cave this time, so I guess I was wrong about it being a always the same place. But it's pretty much the same thing what you have to do, which is, well, either avoid or kill all the annoying Grineer near, then go to the cave and go inside, and then you're looking for this toxin injector thing. Oh yeah, by the way, like I was talking about before, even though I don't have an energy siphon mod on, you smash containers like this, and they're there, like right there. That was two containers that had randomly spawned inside each other for some reason. I just got 100 energy immediately from that, which is like so many tailwinds you can now use. Kind of talks like it kind of sounds like I'm talking about a currency. Like, could you imagine how stupid that would be in the Warframe universe? If people just started using, like, Tailwind as some kind of drug deal. Like, you go into a shady back alley, Corpus Alley, and you just find a Corpus like, hey man, you wanna buy Tailwind? That'd be so stupid. Yeah, so, wow, actually this is a really nice view. And this is also one of my favorite things to do. The second ability of Zephyr. It's kind of a displacement ability where you can just knock enemies around. And now, even though I didn't kill a lot of those Grineer, they're all dead, because when you knock an enemy into an area that they can't get out of, then they just will die. It's great. I've knocked enemies off the ledge like that with a Jit Katag, a hammer weapon. Oh yeah, by the way, while you're also in this caves, you can decide if you want to go and mine ores like this or not. I'm going to mine it here because why not? It's basically some free Ostron reputation if I turn it in. Keep in mind though that you only really get the free Ostron reputation for getting the blue ores. Anything that's a red ore around here, you really shouldn't be bothered mining that if you want to turn it in for reputation, because you can't actually do that. It's used for building other stuff. But if you're new to the game, just mine every ore. They're all useful. Oh, and if you're wondering how I got randomly 8 ores, even though I only filled the, like, gem bar up to 4 gems, meaning I usually get 4, is because right now, I actually have a 3-hour booster on me. I didn't buy this with Platinum. It was actually a login reward. Boosters you buy with Platinum usually last up to, like, 3 days. I just got this one randomly for logging in, which is pretty nice. Oh, and that's also pretty nice. So apparently, you don't even have to fill up the bar to 4 gems to get 4 gems. You apparently get 4 gems just by not even filling it up that much, which is great. Yeah, so then you pretty much exit the cave system. There is another cave system, which I'll hopefully come across in some more, if I do some more recording on this. And that cave system is a little more harder to get out than this one. The tip I'm going to give you for that is just follow the giant extension lead. Well, okay, it's not an extension lead. Basically, it's a giant yellow cable. That's what I was going for. Yeah, follow the cable. It will show you the way out again. Yeah, so for this, you just call the elevator and then wait for it to come down. And don't worry, unlike other games, even if it okay, apparently it can't crush you. I was going to say, even like other games, unlike other games, elevators can't actually crush you in Warframe. Like, I know some games where they will actually completely just smudge you, and then it will just say game over because you died by an elevator. And I'm just de-equipping my mining thing because it keeps on telling me, oh, that's neat. Random blue ore just right here in front of me. That's gonna give me so much reputation. Yes, I actually recommend doing this if you get one of those random 3-hour resource boosters. Oh, now I'm equipped to that thing again. It's making an annoying ping noise. It's going to equip for a tiny while. Yeah, so once you have this thing, it's on to the next stage of the event thingamajig, which is over here. Well, it actually won't be always over here. It'll usually be in a different location. But I'm just going to get myself over there. Oh, and if you don't have Zephyr or anything like that, or Titania, another Warframe, they can turn herself into a little itty-bitty fairy and basically fly across the map. Like, if you have an Arcwing, then just use an Arcwing for this kind of travel. Or just continuously sprint and do the flip jump, which is this. You just slide on the floor, and then do that kind of forwards jump. Yeah. So, the next stage of this, you would probably actually want to do what I'm doing here and kill the Grineer, because the Grineer are going to get even more reinforcements. As you can tell, they actually are a bit tough, because I've modded this pistol here to do about 1,000 damage or more in a single hit, and some of these Grineer aren't dying in one shot. Yes, they're dying in like usually 3 shots, or 2 shots, something like that, but they are a bit tough. Oh, and if you're wondering why that happened, it's because as I kill enemies, it fills up the affinity bar, which, hold on, down there, it's down there. I can't actually show you it while I'm paused and using the mouse, because it only displays when you're actually like in the game fully, not in the pause menu. But the reason why it exploded randomly is because this one of the weapons from the syndicates, and all syndicate weapons do a different amount of damage, like do a different kind of blast damage when they, not blast damage, but they make a blast that deals different damage when they explode. Red Veil gives you viral, Steel Meridian gives you blast, Cephalon Suda gives you magnetic, and so on. Each of the syndicate weapons have that, and to fill up the bar, you just gain experience. At first I thought I was killing enemies, but then I actually once got the bar full and it exploded like before, when I just got one of those achievements there, like kill 30 enemies in a single match, like one of those bonus objectives gives you. Okay, so, once you are at this thing, you press X to insert the toxin and it'll start mixing. And if you want to add the thingamajigs, you scroll over and then start clicking them. And you can add up to 4 of them to get maximum, I guess, what would you call it? Maximum, yeah, but that's strength, that's it. Maximum, you get to get maximum strength on the mixer. Only now, you have to wait about 2 minutes while the mixer actually mixes, because unfortunately, Grineer Tech doesn't work as well as some blenders I've witnessed. Yeah, I once actually had a presentation in a shop, and man, that blender could blend fast. I know it's weird I'm talking about blenders, but it works well at mine. Anyway, so the Grineer will generally attack you, and as you can tell, they're chipping off a lot of my shields. If you look up to the top right of the screen, even though I'm Zephyr Prime and have a ton of shields, they are taking off a heap of it. So that's why it's actually really good to use abilities like that, like using that tornado ability, which just displaces the Grineer and sends them everywhere. It's also a really good idea to have high-powered weapons. If you're having a lot of trouble with this, I recommend a really tanky frame like Rhino. You don't even have to have Rhino Prime. Rhino is just really good on his own. In fact, I don't know why I've never done this, and I should have done it ages ago, but pretty soon I'm going to make a video on how to get Rhino, so you too can enjoy the lovely, lovely ability that is iron skin. It's basically like covering yourself in a piece of sheet metal and going, I don't care about conditions, screw you! Great. All kinds of conditions don't work against you. Even poison, I'm pretty sure. Which usually gets right through your health. And these guys are super annoying. They're constantly grappling you to the floor, which is why I'm really glad that I'm going to be getting, well, soon enough, after like a ton of days logged in, it's something ridiculous. Like, I'm pretty sure it's around like 2 years, so we're talking about like 600 days logged in. Oh, I love it. How's a Grineer? Just fly around like that. Anyways, I was saying, you can actually get a mod called Prime Short Fully, which I'm really looking forward to getting. It makes you 100, when upgraded to max, it makes you 100% immune to knockdown damage. Which I am just going to love so much. I'm just going to walk into a field of mowers in the Simming Power of Black Room and just go like, you can't touch me. And play MC Hammer's You Can't Touch This over YouTube. It's going to be great. Might even just make a video about that and be like celebrating when I finally get the mod. Oh yeah, and by the way, that mod's going to be very rare because you only get it once a login reward per account. So if you want multiple, then have them at a different level for some weird reason, then you're going to have to buy them off players to trade, and it's most likely going to be really, really expensive and cost a ton of platinum, because each player can only get one of the mod, making it a super rare commodity. There's no other way of getting it in the game than actually either getting it with login rewards. Oh, but keep in mind that I've heard through a bunch of Warframe YouTubers and read a few of the developer updates on the forums that the entire login reward system is going to be reworked very soon. So that may not, like, you may not only be able to get it just once off the login rewards. And as you heard there, that quite annoying meh sound that just happened was, basically, it's like, I guess we call it like a little jingle, like with all those LG appliances, like dishwashers, when they finish your like task and they like play some kind of little jingle letting you know it's finished. I guess the Grineer have that too, except instead of a nice jingle, it just sounds like an annoying car horn, because just about everything the Grineer have is annoying. Their knockdowns, their philosophy, their way of life. They really are an enemy I love to kill in this game. So, after you finish that, and now have the toxin firmly grasped in your hand, if you don't have it in your hand, you're probably dead by now, the grenade have shot you in that case you want to revive and pick up the toxin again. Or it's firmly grasped in a fellow Tenno's hand, then just head over to the next part of the mission, which will be hacking a drone. You find the drone, and then press X on it, which is kind of funny because you don't actually hack it. It should really say insert toxin into drone, because that's just what I did. Normally it actually comes up with a little hacking minigame, but I guess that's not the case this time. Yeah, generally just ignore any enemies like I was fighting just there. I don't know why I was fighting it. You can also ignore that thing over there, which spawned more infested, because your mission is just to take the drone to the thingamajig, to the boil. And I actually wouldn't recommend going out in front of the drone and like really going ahead of it, unless you have someone with the drone, because this drone will actually not move unless it has someone near it. It's got like kind of... I imagine the Grenadier have installed AI in it so that it needs to be babysitted all the time, so that it doesn't just randomly wander off, and like a pack of wild Kubra, which are like these mangy dog things, will just come along and start chewing on the drone and bite out all its wires while they weren't paying attention to it. In fact, I'm pretty sure if any Grenadier let that happen, that'll be like an offense punishable to death, because Grenadier is super strict, and basically they're kind of like extremist Nazis when you really think about it. Really racist as well, just like the Nazis were. Sorry if I offended anyone with that comment, I apologize. So as I was saying before, you generally just take the drone. Oh, well, yeah, take it to the place. Also, you might want to actually kill any Dargans, or at least shoot out the pilot of the Dargan, because they can do a heap of damage to the drone. Ah, sure, that was going to hit. Yeah, as you can tell there, the drone is like, kind of staying behind because, as I said, it needs to be babysat. Great thing is it has a lot of health, and the Grenadier can't really damage it that much. So even if, like, I once had 4 Dargans shooting a drone like this, it still didn't kill it. Dargans are these, like, annoying flying things, in case you couldn't tell. Kind of sucks because they don't have, like, too much of a, like, really good hit scan weapon. Like, yes, this weapon is pretty hit scan, but if I had, like, this one weapon that I'm probably also going to do a video about soon, called the Bazaar, it is so awesome. It's just like this rapid-fire submachine gun that can just kick ass. It is so good. It fires heaps of rounds per minute, and you can upgrade its damage to a very decent amount. Okay, so now that now that I've put it in the toxin, all these infested are going to start spawning, and this is why the mission can be very relaxing. So, if you don't have an Arcwing, and you just want to watch some destruction really go down, just crouch, hide behind one of these rocks here, and just watch the madness unfold. And because I've put in quite a lot of toxin, the Grenadier are quite high level as well, meaning all the really high level Grenadier, like that Arson Eximus. Oh neat, I actually shot the Dargan right out of his thing. I'll see if I can actually commandeer that soon, even though it's right in the end. So I was saying, the Grenadier will basically be forced to fight the infestation. Just keep in mind the infestation is eventually probably going to get a bit bored of the Grenadier or kill most of them, because so many of them spawn, and then they will come for you. But the great thing is, the infestation... Oh, I was saying, just right on cue, the infestation has come to kill you. But the great thing is, though, unlike the Grenadier, the infestation don't have a way to shoot you out of your Arcwing. So if you have an Arcwing launcher and an Arcwing, even if it's really low level, just get in it, and then fly upwards. And then, like, I'll put some smooth jazz, like a royalty-free smooth jazz track I'll try and find in the video right here, as I just gently float around, and you can just do whatever tickles your fancy. You can activate the third ability and bombard them like you're some kind of aerial bomber plane. You can shoot into the middle of them, or you can just let them all fight and watch the chaos ensue, like I said before. Keep in mind that you want to keep inside the orange circle on my mini-map in the top right corner of the screen, because if you don't, then it won't count it as you actually doing it, and you might fail the mission if you run too far away. And also, this is the reason I brought the Zor. As you can see there, this is quite high level, and yeah, if you mod the Zor correctly, it can deal so much damage. So you can just basically just fly up, put in your smooth jazz, and either watch them all fight, even record it if you want, and upload it to YouTube if you really feel like it. But I wouldn't mind watching a video about that. In fact, I might actually do that myself. Just put a smooth jazz track on, like, just, like, watching the infestation die on like, the Operation Plague Star. Yeah, as you can see, I'm hardly moving at all, and this mower here, it's, like, trying to shoot me with its gunk, and it can't even do that. Just having such a hard time. And the best thing about all this is that not only can the infestation not really, shoot you down from here, also, since the Grenier and everything will be trying to kill the infestation, they'll be too busy to shoot their anti-Arcwing rockets at you to actually, knock you down out of your Arcwing. Although you may want to come out of your Arcwing after you finish killing everything, because all the juicy loot will be all over the floor, and you want to collect that stuff. And the best thing is that if you're using a Warframe like I'm using, like Zephyr right now, or Zephyr Prime, doesn't really matter, either one will work, and you have just finished collecting all the stuff like I have. I actually haven't finished collecting all of it, because I'm pretty sure there was some stuff over here in like a nice big chunk. Oh, I guess there's only a few credits, yeah. Once you finish collecting it, they will usually drop enough energy that you can just tailwind your way all the way back to Cetus. But I'm actually not going to do that just right now, because I want to see if I can hijack this dog in midair. I just need to get into the correct position. It may actually be more difficult than I thought. It also might actually not be possible. I'm not so sure. Never really... Okay, I just pressed X when I was basically, like, touching it, so I guess that thing's stuck in the air, which is one of the downsides. I have once shot a dog in fight when he skimmed the ground really closely, and that was how I actually was able to, like, commandeer his Dargan, because it was really close to the floor. So anyway, now I'm just going to basically head back to Cetus and show you that, what I was saying, I was not lying, because, like, if you put up just, like, a single streamline mod, you can just completely tailwind your way back. And you're flying so fast, you keep spamming it like I'm doing right now, that you won't even have to bother about any of, like, the, guns that can shoot you out of the air. Oh, keep in mind, by the way, that I'm pretty sure if you're in the air, and even not using an Arcwing, the Grenier can use their anti-Arcwing, like, anti-air weapons on you. Because I was once being, Titania and flew up in the air, and all the Greniers started using those weapons on me and actually started doing huge damage. Yeah, so that is pretty much it for this. Now, just wait for the gate to open, and you can see how much of the, how much reputation and everything I got. Yeah, the great thing about this event as well is that it gives you some quite good rewards. Like, see this wisps here. Even if you don't want to use them yourself, people will buy them in the trade chat of the game. You can make yourself a good amount of platinum with it. As well as that, of course, you get Endo and Kuva, which is a thing you can use to reroll ribbon mods, which I might talk about in a later video. And the other great thing is that not only will you be getting operation supply while you do this, you also be getting standing with your syndicates if you have any sigils equipped or anything, because you're killing so much infestation. Yeah, so as you can see, just doing that, which didn't take too long, which is possible solo, and can even be quite relaxing if you want it to be, got me 2,000 reputation, and with only 3,000 reputation. So basically, how this works is you run it twice, and you can get yourself a Former blueprint, which I'm actually going to get right now because I am very low on Former. Yeah, I love that about this. Also, as for some of the other mods, this one, it could be quite useful for basically the Angstrom. It's a rocket launcher pistol, and it increases the blast radius of those kind of weapons. Which, yeah, I'd say that is quite good and fun, especially if you make this, basically if you include heaps of multi-shot in the weapon, then also increase its maximum magazine capacity, meaning you're able to shoot, like, something ridiculous, like 5 or, I don't know, 8 rockets at once from the gun at a single point, which you can upgrade to around about, I think, like, 3,000 damage easily. And then you equip this, you can just blow up entire rooms worth of corpus. It's awesome. This mod I kind of recommend, especially if you have one of the, Sentinels. I think it was called, no, it wasn't called Helios. What was it called? Oh, yeah, Jin. That's it. Or Jin. It's a Sentinel that, with a certain mod from Cephalon Samaris, can actually keep reviving itself, and then it can revive you. So it's basically like there's a hovering little death machine that will revive you. Oh, you can also purchase fully built Heart and Ninth, and also these things, which are like basically these kind of rare-ish gems. You have to go, and I'll just get out, hold on, I actually will just, quickly go back into Cetus so I can show you where these gems actually spawn. It's basically right on the corner of the map. So you have to go there and then start looking for blue gems around there for one of them. I'm not sure if it's either blue gems for one or blue gems for both. But on certain sides of the, like, the very, very edges of the map, I'm trying to show you where, by just going to see this and accessing the map. That's where you find those things. You can just get them already made without even having to craft them in the foundry from the CAC over there for only like around like 750 reputation, which you can get like 2 of them by just doing a tiny bit of stuff here. Oh, and how I brought up this map is you just hold down the map button. So pressing it once will bring up a not so detailed map. Then holding it down, bring up this very detailed map, and then you can just start zooming around it. Yeah, so that's usually where the gems spawn, like right on the edge of the map, either over there or over there. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I also am going to get back to see this now, though, because as you could see, one of the, if you noticed it, one of those infested spawn pods spawned right there. So they're infested, running all the way right up to like the very gates of Cetus, and I frankly don't want to bother dealing with them all. Ooh, Endo. I will take that, though. I wonder if, like, the infested are actually going to be able to get their way inside Cetus. Like, you just open up the gate here and just let them inside. Oh, I guess the gate closes too quickly, so now I know how the infested haven't been able to get their way inside here before. Yeah, so anyway, just going back to Nakak, I'm pretty sure he had some more, of the operational supply I wanted to talk about, which I actually would recommend getting. These things I would recommend getting if you... Actually, I wouldn't recommend getting them because you can just buy them off his regular wares anyway. If you just go into, not operational supply, but browse wares. He has them for sale here, and you just need to collect this thing it lists, which always changes. So if it's something you don't have right now, like Mortis Horn, which are a certain type of fish component, well, not component, but like a thing you get off by hunting, like fishing for fish. You can just wait until it is something you have. And then this blueprint is reusable, so you only need to buy it once. What it does as well is you drop a flare, and it'll increase the affinity gain, so basically experience gained while you're there. Also, other things you can get is blueprints for the dual ether daggers, which are kind of okay dagger weapon. The Snipertron blueprint, which is a very good sniper weapon, although I'm not sure where else you can get this blueprint, so I say research that yourself and find out if it's actually worth getting it. And then also these things, which they make it that they're basically arcane, so you slot them into into like an arcane slot in your Warframe can have, and you can have to think after 4 of them. And as you can see, after bullet jump or double jump, air melee attacks unleash a projectile infested energy to explode on impact. So basically, you do the jump forward, and basically you jump forward and do a slash attack, which sends you through the air, and you launch a glob of infested goo. And this one, a slam attacks, it suspends enemies caught in the blast radius. So basically, it's a lot like, not Limbo, Volvan's Bastille. This thing I've shown you in my how to get a caveat video. If you watched that, I was constantly basically putting them in stasis, and they were just staying in the air all stuck. It will do that, so you could potentially... In fact, this thing could be an excellent way, if you equip it to your Warframe, of using stasis if you don't have Volvan. You just go caveat hunting and then slam them a bunch. And then the last things you can also get is a bunch of plague stuff, which I really recommend getting, like all this stuff anyway, because you can it's basically for building different Zors. Zors are a customizable weapon that you basically click together, kind of like Lego, I guess. And these are event-exclusive things that deal viral damage. Like, each different blade would deal a different damage type, be it puncture, slash, or something like that. And viral is an excellent damage type, because like in the previous video I have just uploaded recently, they, viral, as you could see in the shotgun video about if you get the boar or strun, viral damage halves the health of enemies. Yeah, so I'm actually just gonna pretty much go back to my ship now and end it, because this is pretty much all I wanted to talk about the first part of Operation Plaguestar. I will actually upload a second video basically showing you some tips and tricks on how to beat this tough boss that you can get to spawn from the Operation Plaguestar. Basically, it's doing what I did before with the infestation, except instead of being really relaxing, it'll actually be quite hard to beat, because this boss is like Lephantis. If you've watched my How to Get Necros video, then you will know what Lephantis looks like. He's this giant three-headed infestation that actually turns out to be like something even worse, like a three-legged monstrosity that you have to kill by shooting only his weak points, otherwise he's invulnerable. And basically a budget version of Lephantis will spawn. I'm not sure if it actually might not. Maybe I shouldn't call it budget because it might be even tougher than him. I haven't really done the testing. I do know they're both damn tough. So yeah, I've rambled on long enough now. You know what this video is about. I'm gonna end it here and probably get right on to recording the second video about how to beat that boss and everything. So I hope this was informative. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope I didn't drag it out too long. Bye for now.